Hey everybody, Aaron Carlson here from Around the Reel. Just want to reach out to each and every one of you to make sure you click over to anchor.fm/CCC Entertainment Group. There's a little metric tool there that you can click on to support our podcast. It would really help us out and keep our production company rolling so we can put out the best content possible and also build budgets to these new movies that should be filming and coming out in 2021. That is, of course, if this fucking pandemic will ever fucking stop. So reach out to us there and support our podcast. We'd really, really appreciate anything you can do in these tough times. And as well as that, you guys keep thinking hard because you're thinking anyway.
Welcome to Around the Reel with your hosts, Aaron Carlson, Charles Lawson, and Samantha Hanna. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
All right. Well, we're all recording. We're live.
Sweet, we're rolling.
I record as soon as I hit admit because some of the best footage we get is before we start.
And I never use any of
or
it.
after.
I know.
Or after we end.
I never use a damn thing. All right.
Well, I'm so glad. But it's better to have than not need. It's like, you could have cut like 4 minutes ago. Oh, I know. But, just in case.
I know. It's okay.
Okay.
I'm excited, guys.
I'm excited too. We're excited to talk to you. How's that feel?
Thank you, guys. Thank you for considering.
I mean, I had to talk them into it, Javier. They didn't want anybody
Stop
that
it.
makes better movies than we do on the show.
Yeah, no Mexicans, please.
That too. Yeah. We don't really get along very well, I guess.
Well, I have a Mexican kid, so I guess I like Mexicans.
You do. At one time, you did.
At one
least.
time I did, yeah.
She's like going to the smorgasbord, and she'll pick and choose. I'm going to try this one this time, and then this one. Now she's in the dark meat. So
You're not that dark anyway, so yeah.
Boom.
Javier, welcome to Around the Reel.
Welcome.
Hi, guys.
welcome,
Nice
guys.
to meet you all.
Nice to meet you too, buddy.
I see your postings on Facebook, see the people you're interviewing, trying to figure it out.
Yeah, man. We were having fun
that-
meeting a lot of people.
Yeah, I noticed. Pretty often, right? Once a week?
At least.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, at least.
Once a week at least.
That's our goal.
Sometimes twice.
Yeah. And
Sometimes Saturday, sometimes Wednesday evening, sometimes Sunday, sometimes whenever somebody wants to get on the show. And if they're, important enough, then we'll say yes.
Yeah. It's going good. So Javier,
Yeah, I wish I could be there because it'll be more fun.
It
I
would
know.
be.
I know.
You're right.
Always is.
I know. I wish you could too.
We have this corner right here for our guests, and it's
Yeah.
right next to the door. So if we
So
do
they can
offend somebody,
escape?
they can leave.
yeah, they can
If
buy
they
the
want
fuck
to.
out.
But unfortunately you're not. But you have a beautiful backdrop, even though, like you said, it's a little whitewashed because we want to
Yeah.
see you, because we're interviewing you, not the city of Seattle behind you.
Yeah.
And where are
But
you? You're
I can
Belltown?
move if you need to.
You in Belltown? Is that what you...
Yes, I'm in Belltown
Okay.
right now. We're moving at the end of the month, probably.
Okay.
Where are you moving?
I'm moving to Alki Beach.
Oh,
okay.
well, all right.
Where the fuck is
Yeah,
that?
I've been in Belltown for about 3 years, and
You don't know where
we're
Alki Beach
making a
is?
move
Oh,
over
Alki
there.
Beach. Okay, got it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Right on.
Aaron is getting familiar with the Seattle
I'm
area.
trying to figure out the geography stuff.
He's only lived here his entire
I know.
life.
A lot of people say Alki Beach. I noticed that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. That's when you said Alki. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
It's Alki Beach.
Okay. See, when he said that, I had no idea what it was because I know Alki Beach. He says
I
it
just
right.
figured that's how the natives probably pronounce it. I doubt they say, "Oh, let's go to Alki Beach." They were like Alki.
That's the best Mexican
I'm an
English
Alki.
accent I've ever heard.
Yeah, it was the most
That's awesome.
fully up Mexican accent.
So Javier Reyna, that's how you say your last name, correct?
That is correct. yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Since we're talking about how you say names, how come every fucking director we get on this show has a cool fucking badass name, and I'm stuck with my shitty name?
Carlson is a good. Oh well, I
think
spiked
you're-
the shit out of mine.
I think you
I
answered your...
despise my name.
Dude,
I
I
hate my name.
love your name. Look, Javier Reyna. That is badass.
Yeah, but you know what? I guess it's because your own name and you hear it all the time. But I was watching. I'm a soccer fan, so I'm watching Barcelona play, and the goalkeeper is Marc-André ter Stegen.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, that's a cool.
That is a cool name.
Marc-André ter Stegen. That is a cool director's name. He should be a goalkeeper. But I mean, Javier. First of all, in the United States, the moment you say Javier, especially over the phone, the first thing you're gonna get is how do you spell it.
Right.
Reyna, same thing. So that is the part that is annoying most of the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we had 2 kids, we just said Jack and Max. I just wanted to make sure.
Make it easy.
Yeah, because they still have to spell their last name, so I just wanted to make sure they have as easy as life as possible.
Well, it's a cool name, buddy, and it goes with...
Thanks.
Yeah, and we got to actually check out your movie this week, the Regionrat.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I got
We absolutely loved it.
It's fucking...
We loved it.
It was great.
It was amazing.
Wow, you guys are nice.
No, we're completely honest. It was totally good. All of our kids were into it. We were all into it. It was good. It was really good.
You didn't have little kids.
Well, we don't have little
dude, yeah,
kids. They're teenagers.
Oh,
but
teenagers is fine. Yeah,
they all freaking loved it.
Language might not be a very good.
Oh, they
Well,
love
in
it.
our house,
You should
our
listen to
kids
our fucking show.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, yeah, that's fine. But like my wife's mom, which is like 87, is like, I want to see your movie. Oops, I went dark. Shit.
That's okay. You're fine.
I moved.
So did I a long time ago.
Cut.
Stop.
Cut. Lighting.
No, we can still talk.
Yeah, man.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Keep talking.
Anyway, what were you going to say? Because you were talking about good shit.
Your 87-year-old grandmother.
Yeah, your grandma.
Or
Yeah, no.
wife's-
My wife's mother is 87, so she kept asking me to watch the movie.
Okay.
And I play around the Indianapolis area. I was at the festival there. I'm like, don't come and watch it. You're not going to like it. I mean, they're very, not uptight, but they're old-fashioned, you know.
Yeah,
It's in
sure.
the 80s, they
Traditional
don't
kind
get
of.
that. So I had to get the movie and go and bleep every scene because I really wanted to watch it. I wanted to watch the whole movie and bleep the whole movie so they could watch it.
My lord.
My wife's 96-year-old grandma, very, very heavy Christian. This woman that you walk in the room and you just want to say and act correctly around her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Listens to our show.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
fucking loves it.
And I was like, you listen to her? I didn't know if I should apologize when she said, oh, I've been listening to your show. I'm like, oh, thanks.
It's fun.
It is
I
fun.
actually find that most people, even if they're extremely like conservative and
Don't like to say bad words.
Yeah, if they don't like, they actually like us
Yeah.
because we're real.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with saying
It
fuck.
happens all the
once in a
time. I got a new script. There's a film we're trying to develop right now is The Pale-Faced Assassin. The funding kind of dried up
Okay.
because of the pandemic, like most projects.
while. Yeah.
I mean, it's a character piece, but there's pretty strong language. Mm-hmm. And it always cracks me up when people read it and they call me back and go, it's just there's too many F-bombs.
They didn't read
Aaron,
my
you'll
script.
love this.
I know,
script.
yeah. Aaron's
Then this is
script.
not for you. You
Yeah.
know, and if
Right.
you get offended, this is just not for you.
Right.
Well, you kind of use the language that you think would be in that world, right? People.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't.
that way.
I don't have a morality clause with my characters.
Correct.
They say whatever they want to say because those are the characters. They're not me.
Right.
Right.
This is how I think these people behave.
Correct. Yeah. And if you walk around and if you don't really pay attention, then you're going to miss like how people really talk. And you've got different cultures that say things differently and different, sexes of people that say things differently. Everybody talks different, but there are a lot of people that drop F-bombs, Chuck.
Fuck, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying. You're a Christian guy. You still say bad words. How the fuck does that work? I don't
And
know.
another thing is very annoying is I'm a pretty liberal guy.
Okay.
And but I hate politically correct
Language.
culture, PC culture,
Yeah.
because to me it's killing comedy.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can't tell jokes anymore.
Right.
If anybody has a phone and you're doing a stand-up and something gets recorded and goes viral, no, for me, for famous people,
Right.
it's a dead sentence. What happened to Gilbert Gottfried for a while.
It's brutal.
And I
horrible.
think Twitter ruined the world to me
Right.
because that made it even worse.
Well, you
But-
got that cancel culture shit that's
but
going on.
words are
Outrage
words,
culture.
You make words whatever you want to make it.
Right. Right.
Don Rickles would have been arrested years ago.
Yeah. that's
Oh,
what-
there is. I was watching Raw with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
From the 80s.
Uh-huh.
You could not do half the stuff. he's
Oh
doing
no,
right
no,
there.
no, no, no.
not at
No,
all.
we were
No.
watching. What was it the other day that you had on that I was listening to, but you were watching?
I don't know.
But it was, yeah, you can't do this. No, they can't do that anymore. It's really sad.
I read a thing today about they were re-releasing a new digitalized mastered copy of Flash Gordon from 1980.
Okay.
Okay. They literally are putting disclaimers on the bottom of the release saying it could be offensive
It's sad.
to people for stereotypes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Disney has that before almost all of their older movies.
Right. Yeah.
And I took a look at a movie called Outrider.
Oh yeah, you watched that one.
Oh, you did.
I heard that one
watched
too.
it.
What did you think of that movie?
Well, first I wanted to. Sometimes I just want to watch the movie first. Mm-hmm. But everything I read was a struggle to make, independent filmmaker. So I wanted to get an idea of what they went through.
Yeah. Yeah.
I read that you shot it for pretty much nothing, of course.
Correct.
And I mean, it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and that's a miracle.
Right.
People don't understand. And once you finish filming, that was the easy part. Then you realize that was the easy part.
Right.
Now you gotta finish it, sound and all that stuff. And,
Correct. It's hard.
It's a miracle that anything gets made.
Right.
Sometimes. So congratulations, you finished it. It's out there, and I like the black and white actually.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love black and white. So I noticed you guys going for the whole noir.
That's what we were
style.
shooting for. It was a
Yeah.
lot of fun to do. Yeah, and it helped us out quite a bit, tell the story and create a world that we didn't have a budget to create. It just made it look and feel a little different, which is what we were hoping for, But super fun.
Yeah,
Thank
you don't
you
want
for
to do the
watching.
same thing.
No.
A lot of people just want to do the same thing, and I see all these, especially in independent film, there's too much of these so-called thrillers. That most of the time they're really boring.
Sure.
They're not really thrillers. The dialogue is extremely bad.
Yeah.
And they put them out there, and I'm like, boy, that was a lot of work, but there was no pre-work,
Yeah.
It's just about getting it done.
Correct.
Right.
And it's not because I'm a critic, it's because I've done it.
Right.
My first movie, I made a movie because I thought, I want to make movies. And I was a late bloomer. I was in my 20s, and I started writing. And I didn't realize I couldn't write. But, hey, had a beginning, a middle, and an end, according to me. And I made the film, and I made a big deal. And I had a screen at Sony Pictures because I knew people there. And then all of a sudden, something went up, and I go, oh my God, it's a piece of shit. It's horrible. It's extremely bad. I mean, the dialogue, everything was just horrible. It was my film school. I learned how to cut negative through that and sound, but the actual content was so bad. I had one of those moments of clarity, and I took my reels out of the backyard, used my scissors and cut the negative, just destroyed my print, and I started looking for anybody who had a VHS of that thing and just trash it.
And just
So I've been trying to destroy every single copy of that film that I can get my hands on.
Oh, buddy, you
I'm
got
like,
it.
nobody can see that.
We
Oh,
keep
man,
ours
that's for you, though. Yeah.
because it's where you came from.
I love
That's how you
it.
started.
Yeah, I mean, it was a long time ago, but it's again, I'm like that. I just look
It's
at
okay.
it, I'm like, oh, God. Well, and you'll realize the more movies you make, as proud as you are of the film, I will bet right now you would like to go back and change a couple of things.
Oh gosh.
Oh, as soon as we put it out, we've always done
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, we've been shooting films, and like you, 20 years we've been making movies.
Yeah.
I mean, we've started this back right when I got my first laptop, like 1999, 2000, and started messing around with Windows Movie Maker back then. And then I'm like, holy shit, we can make movies. That's when we started. And every project we've done, because we've done full features before, but we just didn't do anything with them. They were just for
Fan
us.
films.
Fan films. We didn't put them
Copyrighted
online.
music.
Yeah, we just made the movies to have fun with and see if we can make them, and just show them to friends, family, or whatever, and just have a good time. But we realized we were learning, making those movies, like you said. It's your film school.
It is, because right now you know more than you knew when you started Outrider.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, yeah.
And the fact that you go, oh gosh, I want to fix that, that means only one thing. When you did it, it felt good. Mm-hmm. Now you look at it, it's not good, which means you learn a lot.
Correct.
So whatever things happen there that you're not happy about, they're not going to happen again.
Right.
Because now you know, I'm not doing that again.
Yep.
And that could go from things like compromising.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I had a short film where the DP was fighting me to do something, and I said, okay, fine, fucking do it.
Okay.
And I watched the movie, I go, should have not done it. That was a mistake,
Yeah.
You got to remember what you want to do and stick to that.
Yeah.
That vision. Absolutely.
We do have a collaborative personality, and that's one of the things that we did come up with, is the fact that if somebody else
that's
has
good.
if somebody else has an idea of what they want to do, it's like, that's fine, but shoot it our way first, and then we'll do that also. and in the edit, we can figure out what we like better. Because we don't want to do something that ends up changing the arc of the storyline by trying to do one thing or changing that one thing. We did that in one of our previous films that were one of our little fan films that we did, and to this day, Aaron regrets the fact that he got talked into it.
Yeah, I'm still angry about that.
No, I didn't talk him. No. Actually, I wasn't there that day.
Yeah, you weren't. Thanks for getting my back, by the way.
I always have your back.
I'm just
What'd
trying
you
not
do?
to rub
Now
it.
seen
you
your
brought it
front.
up. Now
No,
it's
that's
over.
when I went to shoot at the undisclosed location with a few of our actors, and a few of the actors gave me a hard time about what was originally in the screenplay when we were shooting that day. So they wanted to do a rewrite then and there.
The actors?
Yeah. Now remember, this is completely, everybody's there on their own free will. We're all supposed to be friends, having a good time, and it's not like we're doing anything with this film other than, hey, let's see if we can make one. But they got these big bowls. Oh no, you're fine.
Sorry.
I'm used to the doggies.
We have dogs here. It's okay.
Yeah, we're used to it.
Yeah. The actors though in this film they thought the scene could be better in a different way. They were I don't even know how to say it. They didn't fucking like it.
Yeah.
It offended them. Yeah, it offended
maybe
them.
when they make their own film, they can do it that way.
That's what I'm talking about.
But that's your film.
Correct. And the funny thing,
there can be only one director, just like there can be only one ship, one captain.
One captain on the ship. Yeah. And, and I'm fully letting them do what they wanted to do on that day. I'm just like, okay, motherfucker, write something then. Let's see what you got. We wasted 2 or 3 hours of them sitting there trying to rewrite something, and I whipped something up within 5 minutes. And I'm like, see, it's not that fucking easy, is it? And I ended up changing it for them. And then I look back on it now, and I'm like, it was a fan film. I learned something from that too. Don't ever do that.
A good way to deal with that when actors, because sometimes the biggest stars you will have in your film, and by stars I mean just the most experienced guy in your talent might be.
Sure.
They'll creative people.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up. They'll creative people, so they'll want to put their 10 cents. I understand that, but they don't know. Maybe they don't know yet whose responsibility is to do what.
Right.
And at what point. Like, for instance, when I was shooting Regionrat, I was so excited about certain things that I started getting C-stands and putting things around.
Okay.
And the grip and the DP is like, get the fuck out of here. Go sit in your fucking chair, and this is our job. Don't.
Yeah.
Get out of my way. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm the director, but this is their job. I'm not going to tell them what to do.
Right. See.
So with an actor, you have an actor who's trying to give you ideas. I learned probably the best thing you can do is take their very first idea and do it, or the second one, and eventually they'll realize that you will do everything they want. And then they will start, not everybody, this might not work for everybody, but then they start classifying their ideas when they go, oh man, he's going to do everything I tell him. And they start thinking about maybe filtering their ideas to just give you the good ones.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Rather than just, because they're used to people say no. So you just keep throwing things like a kid.
Right.
To see what sticks. So if you go, okay, let's do it that way. And if it doesn't turn out great, they'll know. You're like, okay. Well, so sometimes it's the other way around. If you just let them a couple of things, let them get away with a couple of things, and if it works, it's great. But if it doesn't, hopefully they'll realize they need to filter their suggestions.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a level of responsibility they end up taking too. That I enjoy, because I figure they're the more invested they are in the story, it's going to be because they had input, right? And if it sucks, now that's on them too. And I kind of dig that in a way. So they can learn at the same time of how hard it is to actually not only just make a fucking movie, write a movie for the screen, but produce it and finish it. I mean, those things are not easy to do. So when you get some bullshit from somebody on set like that, it's just, I don't know. But I mean, again, but history, old school, I'm fine with it.
And don't think that's happening to you because you made a low-budget movie. You could be directing Tom Cruise, and he's going to tell you, I don't like it, and guess what? He's going to be the boss.
Right, yeah.
Because his name is executive producer, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, exactly. So Tom Cruise says, change that shit. I'm going to have to change it. But other than that, that will happen with any actor.
Right.
At any level of the budgets. I worked in a HBO movie years ago, and they had plenty of money. It was a low budget HBO movie, and the director and the actor, they got into it every day.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
horrible. Always arguing, always fighting. Then the DP and the director always arguing, always fighting.
Wow,
Jeez.
man.
So, yeah.
That's
Well,
not
speaking
fun.
of actors, you had a phenomenal actor in your movie.
Connor, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, tell us.
Most kids, I gotta say, all the kids were pretty good. But obviously, Connor had to deal with this we worked 17, 20 days together nonstop, and he's in every scene.
Yeah.
Everything is from his point of view. So,
Yeah.
yeah, he was a real trooper, man. The guy, super responsible. He'll show up on the set in time. He will be the first one to arrive, last one to leave, and putting up with my crap all day. Which, unlike you guys, I'm more of a control freak.
Okay. No, it's
So,
okay. Well, you got to
you know,
be. You're Mexican. You know, shit, man. He's going to be in deep shit. You got to grab a hold of that motherfucker, you know?
Yeah, no, he was fantastic. This kid, he should be in a bigger position than he is right now.
Oh, for
because
sure.
he's super good. It was very hard to cast that part
I bet.
because it carries the whole thing. The first time
Yeah.
this movie has a lot of history. I wrote the script in 2002,
Oh, wow.
and it happened because I read the book by the author.
Okay.
I was looking for a movie to do. I had just done a short film with which I did very well in the circuit, and then we thought about doing a feature, and I was looking for ideas. This is back in 2000, and The Sopranos were just still around.
Okay.
And everybody was doing scripts about the mob and all that stuff. And I had a friend who suggested I read this book, Regionrat. And I read the book, and it was a different lifestyle than what I knew, very different for me. And I felt like, regardless of all the stupid shit they do, there was a heart in the story.
Yeah.
Yes, there
There was
is.
some heart.
Sure.
So I contacted the author, and we agreed that I was going to try to write a screenplay, make the movie. And it took only 16 years.
That's not bad.
That sounds
And
like
at that budget, but there was a point where we almost blow huge. And around 2004, the script made it to an agent in Hollywood, and I had to go to LA for meetings and casting, and we were having all the young stars from Hollywood trying to get that role.
Really?
And I'm talking about the young kids from 2004.
Okay.
So I interviewed people like Kevin Seegers, America Ferrara for the different roles.
Oh, wow.
Sure, sure.
I had two kids from. You remember that show, that 70s show?
Yeah.
Yep.
With Ashna Krishna. Well,
Yeah.
I have two people from that
Wow.
asking for roles.
Wow.
Hayden Panettiere, and the problem was that they really wanted a star for that role,
Okay.
and the budget was around $3 million at that point for the film. And the problem is, it was very hard to get a teenage kid who's a star to carry the movie.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, let's just get well-known supporting roles and then discover some kid. And these guys, no, we want to start because ICM wanted to cast the movie originally. ICM, for some reason, they wanted that. They called me on the phone, and they asked me why I didn't have an agent. Then I got a calls from UTA. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be huge.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's weird because there's all these interests and all these things, and we'll find the money, and we'll find you the actors and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, it's like a microwave, just and it disappears.
Wow.
All that interest, all of a sudden, they see something
gone.
shiny somewhere else,
Yeah.
And then they just head that way.
and they were gone.
wow.
They were gone. And now they don't return your calls. And I'm
Wow.
like, this girl was calling me every day from UTA. Hi, honey. I just love your movie. It's gonna be great. I want you to have lunch with this guy. He's so sweet. So we'll have these lunch meetings with actors they want me to meet. But then a lot of times you meet the kid, and the kid's adorable, but you're like, you're a very nice guy. You just know the part,
Right.
just don't fit, right? And then all of a sudden the interest for the entire film will be lost because of that. So
So when you met
I mean-
Connor, did you just know?
No, not at all.
Oh,
And
really?
I went dark again here. This
That's okay.
Stupid. This boys, the camera has their own, sensitivity for light.
You know what I would...
So just move a little more.
Yeah, I was going to...
There you go. And I'm moving to the light. And that should
Hey, it looks kind of cool, actually. Though it looks noir, dude. You look like you're in the Outrider right now. That's badass. So you got the screenplay way back in the day. You're hustling. You're talking about making the movie. When did you know that the thing was going to actually start filming? Like, when did you know the project was going to happen? What year was that? I'm just curious how long it took.
Oh, well, we shot it in 2016.
Okay.
See, I have right here. I'm like,
There you are.
There you
So-
are.
I know, but for some reason, it doesn't like it when I put it here. 2016, but I knew the movie was going to be done the last day of shooting.
Okay.
That's when I said, okay, we got
it. We got it finished. Okay.
We after going through the studio system, or what they call the independent level of the studio system, and after years of waiting, and they're saying we're gonna get it done, and you see all the bullshit. I mean, I have plenty. If you want stories, trust me, I have.
Oh, I bet.
Funny stories from crazy stuff sitting inside ICM and all these agents and their behavior. It's really weird. If you ever watch a movie called Swimming with Sharks,
Oh, I love that movie. Kevin Spacey.
well, I experienced that. I witnessed some of that stuff, how
Holy
agents will treat their assistants.
Yeah.
I saw that and I remember thinking, oh my God, it's the same thing. It's not a joke. And then eventually, after so many letdowns and options that didn't go anywhere, I talked to the writer. It's been 13 years. And I'm like, I'm sorry. He didn't believe me anymore.
Right.
And I said, how about I just do, however, let's just get it done, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
So we got a couple investors. We have $50,000 to shoot it. And 2 weeks from production, the guy with the money says, well, I want you to take all this off. I don't like these words here. There's too many fox here.
Oh my God.
I'm like, dude, you're the investor. We had a contract, You put the money, but I get the decisions. Well,
Wow.
if you don't do this, then I'll take my money away. And that was $36,000 he had invested.
Oh my gosh.
Out of the 50. And as cool and patient that I am, I told him to go fuck himself.
Good for you.
And I was having a breakdown because I knew we started in 2 weeks and we had $16,000, but I didn't tell anyone.
Right.
So we just started shooting. And
Okay.
I had $16,000. And I just kept hoping as things went along, I will get more and more and more. And by the end of the movie, we had about 40 grand. I ended up selling a car, if we didn't use any equipment for the movie, I will sell it right away on Craigslist.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And by the time everything was done in post-production and festivals, we probably was around 55.
Okay.
Just because, just the festivals alone, submissions and traveling.
Sure.
Such a waste of money unless the festival is worth it. But you try to promote the film as much as possible.
Yeah. It's
but
expensive.
We shot in
stuff.
2016, finished in 2017, and then you had to wait for the festivals. Mm-hmm. So we premiered in 2018.
Okay.
Chandler Film Festival in Arizona.
And you've done a good run in those festivals. I mean, it's getting a name for itself in that regard. How did distribution go for you, though, as far as getting the movie out there?
Boy, I was really worried about distribution, of course, because I don't have any stars. The movie has 19 plot holes there. That
You have stars. They're just not known yet.
there was 19 scenes that we couldn't shoot because of money. So when you watch the movie, you might say, it's okay. When I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, though. See,
I need that scene over there. So by the time the festivals came in, we got Chandler, and then we went to other festivals. But I forgot your question.
Oh, no, it's fine. You didn't really...
He forgot the question.
Oh, the distribution.
Yeah, distribution question, yeah.
Yeah, so somebody from Gravitas came and they said,
okay,
well, we like to have the film, and they love the music too. For some reason, they really got into the music, which is great. Marcus is a fantastic composer. However, they took the film, I signed the contract, I got super excited, and ever since I've been getting fucked so bad by this company that,
that's what I was wondering about. Because normally when I'm just browsing online, I go through a lot of filmmaker forums. I'm reading everything that everybody's doing. I take a look at stuff, and I did run across yours the first time when I think it was something about it, from Cheech and Chong. Chong said something about your movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw that, and I'm like, oh, that's that Javier guy, you know. And that was the first time I actually stumbled across that, and then I started to read your IMDb, and I understand where your film was and where it was at finally. But before that, I had no fucking idea that movie was even out there.
Oh, no. Well, here's the problem, and I talk about this and every time we have a Q&A or something like that. Everybody wants distribution, obviously, because you think that's, it's better to have that and have the film on your shelf.
Sure.
However, I got very excited. It's Gravitas. They've done, big movies, but they're a regular distributor and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But all these companies, what they really want is a big library they can eventually sell.
Yeah. And
SVOD is killing independent film.
It doesn't pay you shit at all.
Well, I actually, if you read the Movie Maker, I wrote an article there. I met the editor from Movie Maker magazine, so I was telling the story. He goes, hey, can you do a write-up for it? So about 2 months ago, I wrote an article about my experience with distribution SVOD.
Okay.
Which pays you like a cent an hour every time somebody watches a movie, they
right.
give you a cent. But that's already on the money-making side. But with the distributor, they basically want film for free. I didn't expect a big a big payment up front because, again, I don't have any leverage.
Right.
But I figured, well, we started splitting the money. The split was okay. But they had a contract clause that said that they will keep the first $10,000 because of their expenses and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
So
like
to me, I go, well,
that.
consider what movies make. If the movie makes not that much, that should be no problem.
Right.
But then as the movie was coming up, I kept looking for anything from some web ads or Facebook or something. And then when I talked to them, they told me they were not planning on doing any marketing for the film.
Then what the fuck's with the $10,000 you're keeping? What'd you do?
They said, expenses.
What
But
expenses? What the fuck did you do?
They had the expenses of the guys talking to Javier, the lawyer team writing up the contract.
Well, they call it
and paying it to get it up on the platform that he could have done by himself?
Exactly.
I thought, I read my contract, but I just kind of browsed it. I was just very excited about having a real distributor that was interested in the film, and I go, well, that should be okay. So the $10,000 were what they call initial delivery fee, which is what, according to this, it takes them to take the film through quality control, coding, encoding, and all that shit to transfer to all these networks.
It's just a bunch of junk fees.
And it's all bullshit.
I know. It is.
There's no. So anyway, the point is, the movie came out 2019, and I still owe them $7,000.
What?
See, dude, it's so sad. It's such a
bullshit.
In the account statements I get, my statements, they just say total minus, like, this much money came in, and this is much money you still owe us.
That's
and the
such
funny
bullshit.
thing is, they take the $10,000 from, I thought they were going to take it from the overall junk,
Right.
If there was $1,000 in sales, they take $1,000. But no, they take their commission first. And then what's left over me, then they take what is owed from the $10,000 from what it was owed.
Right.
For when it is supposed to be coming to me. So they gain their commission and their money back at the same time.
That's such a bunch of crap.
So that means I know, and so I tried to market the film myself, but I can't. I had like $2,000. I think you need like 15, 20 grand to hire a PR.
Yeah.
And then they will help you get the reviews that you need, because that's actually probably the most important thing. Get reviewed by the right people in Rotten Tomatoes. But I didn't have the cash for that, so
what do you
not
do?
much you can do.
There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, you're upside down
do as
$7,000. Spend
Facebook
$15,000.
ads. I went on I went on Cameo and tried to get 3 people to pitch the movie, and they all said no. And when I tried to get Tommy Chunk to say it, I think he realized what he did until the very end.
Gotcha.
For them to endorse something, you got to pay like $1,000.
Okay.
Or they just have. So I just wrote when they said, any of you ever use Cameo?
No, I haven't.
No.
Yeah, explain
You
what
know
that
about it, right?
I've seen it before. Yeah, but what is it for the
It's
others?
this website. They have all these celebrities, from A celebrities to B celebrities to people you never heard of, and you write, "Hey, tell Charles happy birthday." So they get in their iPhone. It goes, "Hi, Gilbert Gottfried and Javier wants to say Chuck happy birthday."
Gotcha.
That's what they do, and you pay $150.
Okay.
So I did that for a couple of people, and they're like, "No, we don't do that. We don't do endorsements." And then I figured, well, the movie's not selling because they're telling me, it's not funny enough, it's not serious enough. And I go, well, there's a lot of weed. Mm-hmm. So I
and
went
Chong's
to
like,
Tommy
ding, ding,
Chong,
ding.
And then the part where Tommy Chong's supposed to say happy birthday, I just said, "Hey, watch Regionrat." And then he started reading it. And then he kind of liked it. He's like, "Yeah, I like that." And then at the end, he just says, "Hey, buy it, rent it, or steal it."
Yes, he did.
Yeah, and I loved it. And I said, "Oh, man, thanks a lot for doing that." So I put it out there because at least it was funny. But that was my marketing budget, like $150 from Tommy Chong.
And that's okay. You know what? He brings up something now with this cameo thing. I think I'm going to start doing it. I'm going to have people, they're going to pay me $100, and I'm going to give them shout-outs. Every shout-out. Now, is that your dog?
There goes our dog.
Yeah, those are the dogs here, too.
Chuck's dogs.
Dude, this is like a dog cast now.
But
This
I
is
mean,
not-
Cameo has grown enormously. There used to be just a few people now, and it's all these people that charge like $5. Like people you don't know, but like the whack back from the Stern show. They have high pitch Eric and all these people. They're all doing these things.
It's crazy, man.
All the drunk people. It's kind of funny if you know how to use it. So if I would have probably $10,000. I'd probably just go to Cameo and get me a bunch of celebrities just to endorse the movie and just try to put it out there, because hopefully just a celebrity causes people to share the video.
Right.
It's actually the most
even
ridiculous
with that Tommy
thing
Chong
I've ever
video,
heard in my life.
doesn't have a lot of views still.
See, it's a good idea, though.
You know what, though? Your movie, it's great. It is really a good movie.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, genuinely, it really is. So that surprises me. It just surprises me.
That you get a good product and a good story and
My biggest pride of the movie, honestly, is the cast, because a film like that, if the cast doesn't work, it would not work.
Yeah, but
If the kids were not good, they were not good. But that's the thing about directing. When kids go, "So what is like directing a film?" I always tell them the same thing.
right. Buddy.
Chuck, where is Chuck?
Oh, he had
to go get the dogs.
Getting the dogs because they're freaking out. I know he just disappears
I
like
always
that.
do the same thing. Directing a movie is basically fixing up all the fuck ups you did during casting.
Gotcha. That's a good way to look at it.
Okay.
Never thought of it that way, but no, that's true.
Because when you have the right person like Connor, you say action and the kid does, and you're like, "Oh, that was brilliant."
Right.
No, that's a
the
good
right
point.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, the kids, he absolutely sold that movie. I mean, great. He was great.
Yeah, dude. When we watched that movie, and this is what I was trying to say a little earlier. The movie does have a lot of heart in it, right? Your story's great, and I've watched a ton of indie films, most recently, especially in this podcast. And I got to say, some are hit and miss, But I appreciate the efforts that I see, because I know our movie, The Outrider, isn't the greatest thing ever, but it was the effort and it was the story,
Sweat and blood that went into it.
Yes,
Okay.
brother. So you can't just dog out an indie filmmaker. I appreciate what they do, but then there's some gems, and I got to tell you, your story has it. I
Yeah.
mean, that story legitimately. It got me thinking. I didn't know it was based off a novel. I missed that in the credits. When I saw written by you and directed by you, I'm like, holy shit, what happened to Javier in his fucking life? I mean, there's some shit going down in this, because you had serious elements, there's serious overtones in it. It's got this kind of a darker humor. It's got a lot of heart. It reminded me of like Wild Side back in the day when I was a kid with Sean Penn. It had that almost a taste of Fast Times. It's got all these cool, like Superbad. I mean, it's got all these great elements to it to bring it. You didn't have named actors, but your cast was great.
Yeah,
they
the
sold
cast-
that movie.
And
The
amazingly,
music.
again, when you talk about distribution, the first thing people want to know is who's in the film. They don't care if the movie's fantastic.
Right.
They
Yeah.
want to know who is in it.
And that's really sad.
Stupid.
To me, that's really sad. And it's stupid. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is stupid.
It's
And then when I
dumb.
started looking for distribution outlets on foreign markets, then we came to another problem, which is, If you can't put this movie in India because teenagers don't relate to these teenagers. You can't put this movie in all these places because of the marijuana. Like, they can put it in Dubai, they can put it in China.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, somehow explosions and cutting heads is fine in everywhere.
Right. No one's got a
God
problem with
forbid
that.
somebody smoking a joint because
Yeah,
they lose their
no
shit.
kidding. That's so stupid.
It's the dumbest thing.
And Sam, you were asking me about Connor, right? That if I knew right away.
Yeah, if you knew right away that he was the one.
No,
For the part.
I was doing casting. I did all the casting myself online, using those casting networks websites. And he submitted, and I like his submission. And I thought, this kid is good. Maybe he could be somebody else. I just didn't picture him as.
Oh, really? You didn't picture him the part, huh?
No, I said, you could be. And then he texted me again. He contacted me and said, what happened? I go, well, I'm looking for something else. It's not that you're not a good actor. It's just I'm looking for something else.
Okay.
And
Looking
then
for
he
those
kept sending
goosebumps.
me- and then he sent me another audition. Completely different.
Wow.
He did a different one for you.
He did
And
a
I go,
different
dude, I appreciate it, but this is not you.
one.
What are you
Really?
looking for? So I go, well, this is what I'm looking for. And he sent me another and another one and another one.
Oh my God.
And then in one, he nailed it.
He wanted
I
it
go-
bad.
And I go, boy, he really wanted this. And that's the difference.
That's dedication.
Every kid I had working on this film they didn't want to be famous.
Okay.
They wanted to act.
Yeah.
Right.
What's interesting about Connor is Connor couldn't give a shit about watching the film. He just enjoys the process of acting, being on the set and doing his thing. Watching it later with friends and all that, but that's not his goal, to see himself in the screen. It's just the process of performing, doing the drama. That was the part that I enjoyed the most with these kids. And everyone, Sean was the same thing. Nova was the same. All the kids had pretty much the same attitude. None of them were like, I want to be famous. They were pretty serious. They will take breaks and they'll be reading the script and very impressed.
They did a realistic job. There wasn't the indie overkill acting at all.
I
You didn't.
I didn't get that.
There's a genuineness to each and every character.
Yeah.
In that.
We were trying never to get over the top.
Right.
It's so easy to think about it when you're doing it. Oh, let's do this for fun.
Right.
Because you've been doing it so long, you know the script so well.
Yeah.
That things are not funny anymore.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful, then you forget that. So, but no, we stuck to the script pretty strongly, and
I know.
it was not
I
really-
stepped away for a second, so I don't know if you guys already talked about it. How did you do for building chemistry between all the kids on the set?
We had a couple of readings just to do a little, especially when we were going to be in the car for so long. We met at a studio in Long Beach, and we'll have chairs and pretend they were driving, so they knew where to look or how to move and all that stuff. But we didn't do more than one or two readings. I don't like rehearsals that much.
Okay.
Because I feel like it started to sound rehearsed.
I gotcha.
So most of the stuff will be one rehearsal, one for camera, basically.
Wow.
I will tell the actors it's for camera so they would chill, so they wouldn't feel the pressure.
Yeah.
We just relax. We're just going to do it for the camera. We'll do it a couple of times. And a lot of times I will be action and it will be cut. And I go, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Let's just move on.
Yeah, and they're like,
My
what the
D-
fuck?
And Carlos, my cinematographer.
Aaron does the same thing.
Carlos, my cinematographer, he'll be like, motherfucker, we spent 2 hours lighting this. You're doing another take.
At least one more.
And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Let's do it. Let's do one more take. And he saved my life a lot of times because that second take sometimes was much better.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yep.
something was
Yep.
wrong. But the kids were so strong that there was a lot of first takes. I'm like, I'm okay with that. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Plus, we knew we had to move. But it's different when you're saying just, all right, I like it. And the other guys are working their asses off, moving shit all over the
Right.
place. And Carlos working so hard. We had a crew that so few of them knew what they were doing. The rest was PAs that Carlos taught how to be gaffers during the film.
Okay.
So he was mentoring like 3 people or 4 people while being responsible for everything.
Oh, wow.
How long was your shoot for that?
We shot for 20 different days. Several of those were half days because things will collapse. And the problem with not having finance is that it makes it very hard to lock a location. We were shooting a scene, for instance, just to give you okay, here's a thing that happens sometimes and it turns out better. We were finishing shooting at 6 o'clock at one location by the jail, I think. And in the next scene, we're going to shoot at a public library. And this scene is on the book. Ray goes out with his new girl that he just met in L.A. And she wants to go to a library. And he's bored because it's a library. So she's looking for books, and as he's sitting around, he looks at these books, which she was Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and he grabs it, and he reads it, and he goes, oh, wait a minute. This is kind of fun. This is not what I thought being an artist or a writer will be like. This is a lot of fun. So the idea came from there, from the book.
Got it.
So we had the library, and then the library kind of panicked in the last moment about us bringing lights in a place full of carpets and books. And even though we had insurance, still they got the heebie-jeebies. So 6 o'clock, they told us it's not happening. So
oh, wow.
we had nowhere to shoot. And I told Carlos, I guess we take the day off. And he goes, we have all this equipment. We're shooting something. We can't. I mean, we have it. We have a day. We got to do something.
Was it was it equipment you rented?
Yeah, we rented.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
And then I'm driving back, and I don't know how many of you know LA that well.
No, I don't know LA
on
at
the
all.
Photo 5, and I drove by the Newer Theater in Santa Monica, which is a classic. And I drove over, and I had an idea, and I pulled over, and I called the manager, and I bribed him for $500 to let me shoot the next day for 4 hours.
And that was your
And
movie.
he did
That's
it?
his movie scene that's in there in the
And
theater.
that scene now,
yeah.
rather than finding a book, they go to a movie, they watch that movie.
Yeah, Fear.
Which I made the link that makes them want to read.
Gotcha. All right.
And that's how we end up doing that bit at the movie theater. The other problem is now I needed the sound effect, at least the sound effects, or at least the dialogue from the movie.
So did you redo that? I was curious because I know
had
that
to
wasn't Johnny
recreate
Depp
everything.
talking. Yeah, it wasn't Johnny Depp doing it.
No, but Johnny Depp is imitating Hunter S. Thompson.
Yes.
So I figured I'll just focus on that.
Yes.
Because amazingly, I could do the audio for about $2,000.
Okay.
But then I still needed to get permission from Johnny Depp and his people and pay another fee. And I knew that wasn't even going to be something I could even think about it.
Right.
Right.
What an interesting process, man. Isn't it funny how when you're making these films, if you don't have the ability to adapt or think on the fly,
You have to.
You have to.
You have to.
You just have to come up. But again, when I look at that scene in the theater, I like that scene. I think it's actually more fun than the one in the library.
Yeah. It works. It works great. I know
Yeah.
exactly the
Create
scene.
the sound the closest possible. Music, I use some other music. But I figure as long as you feel like there is a movie playing, and I think we kind of pull it off.
Oh, God. You guys
No,
did.
you totally, yeah.
did.
But you have to be adaptable to things that change, especially when you're making a movie, because things change. And there's a lot of no's, and there's a lot of things that don't work out the way you think they will, and you have to be willing to adapt to that and change.
Well,
on
see,
the
that's
fly.
and that's why I'm here to help these guys realize that. Because if it wasn't for me showing them that way, they would be stuck in the fucking mud. They wouldn't be
gotta
able to
show 'em
move
the way.
Yeah, I do. Why are you guys looking at me like
I
that?
do think because we
'Cause
just know
you're
I didn't know your
stupid.
ass could talk so high to where it'd be right up next to the microphone.
I'm not talking to my ass. That's
You're
my face.
talking out your ass.
Well, the funny thing is it's been so long since I had seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas
Yeah.
that I couldn't remember who was doing that narration originally. I'm like, wow, wait a minute. Well, I know it's not who was in the movie because the voices don't all match, but I
Right.
was like, who was doing that narration during that part?
Yeah.
Super cool
So
tie-in.
you made it work. You made it. You did a
Yeah.
little cheat.
And if you hear, actually, when I was looking to cast someone to do the voice, I didn't want somebody to do Johnny Depp because I needed somebody who could do Johnny Depp doing Hunter S. Thompson.
Right.
So I figure I'd rather have somebody who can do Hunter S. Thompson, and then, I go free. And I couldn't find anybody, and eventually I got my producer to do it.
Wow.
He did great.
Yeah,
had
he
a
did
deep
good.
voice, so I got Johnny to do it.
Yeah, that's
So
fucking cool.
he did
man.
Hunter.
Good. The movie's good. It turned out so well. I can't believe you went through everything that you did to get it out there, but it's great. It's amazing.
You're
We
committed.
loved it.
Yeah, completely committed. So about the music, though.
Music's great.
I gotta ask you. Music is tricky, and I'm like that '80s guy, right? Every '80s song that I've listened to in my entire life, I would love to put into a movie, right? But I know how much that might cost.
Right.
And it makes and going out and finding other, supporting cues like that. How did you come up with the music for the film? Not just the score. I'm actually some of the actual songs.
The songs. Okay. Well, that's easy. The book talks a lot about the music that he likes.
Okay.
And obviously, he was in Seattle,
Yeah, there was this grunge thing that used to happen back
all these
then.
Nirvana songs and
Yeah.
Pearl Jam and all that stuff. And that was on the budget originally. And once we decided to shoot the film this way, we knew that was going to be impossible.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did is we went to Facebook and put a posting for all the musicians in the region area where the movie takes place. And we said, we're making a movie. If you have a song, or you could write a song for the movie, and you're willing to let us have it, we can't pay you, but I will put them in the movie. Hopefully that helps you.
Helps you get your word out there.
Oh,
Beautiful.
wow. What a good
And I
idea,
got tons of song submissions.
Wow.
I love it.
Tons. Some were original, some weren't.
That's awesome.
We listened to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I will send them to the author, and I will say, which one of these you would like?
Okay.
And that was kind of like
wow.
the process. And then let's see what else works with the movie.
Mm-hmm.
This is so sad.
Yeah, you better call your light. You got to get your light guy back in there
This
with you.
thing on the fucking window is the worst idea.
Last night it was beautiful.
It was
Last
dark.
night, yeah,
it was
because
dark.
all you could see was the lights outside.
Yeah. Man alive. Okay, the music thing. I'm a music guy.
Yeah, the
like I
music.
said.
So we
It's
got all
great.
these submissions from people. Eventually, we broken down to the ones we thought will be better, and then at the end, then which one work in the film. And then everything was like that except for the ones by Kevin Batchelder, who's a friend of mine as a singer.
Okay.
And he had 2 great songs, and I go, please let him put them in the movie. He's like, go ahead, use them. And that was the opening credits song.
Okay.
I really like that.
Okay,
It had
yeah,
this
I love that.
70s vibe,
Yeah.
and with all this shit from the region, I thought it was going to work pretty good.
Totally sets the vibe. I love the.
It gives the whole movie character. It really
But
does.
we got great music.
You got
Yeah,
great
you
music.
did.
From local unsigned bands, I think.
That's how you
That's
did it.
amazing.
Perfect thing.
Yeah, and I mean, it works out so well too with it being the grunge and being from the Seattle area. I mean, some of the best bands that came out of Seattle weren't the bands that people bought the CDs of.
No.
True.
There's
Oh,
a lot
really?
of no.
What's
There's
that?
a lot of good ones.
Oh, like
There
Grunt
was so much underground stuff that fit so well with all the unnamed, and I'm totally drawing a blank on half of them. But you and Brad were just talking about the
No, like Diamond Fist Warney back
Diamond
in the day.
Fist Warning back in the day.
Sky Cries Mary.
Yeah, all
there's
these-
so
Grunt
many
Truck.
good. Grunt Truck, yeah.
Yeah, so we have all these different ones that actually it worked perfect because that character fit the idea. It's like I'm not following the mainstream of what everybody else likes with the flannel wearing and all that other crap.
And even with a new movie I'm working on, I probably want to do the same thing and now try to get Seattle bands to get original music for the next movie. And not because I want something more expensive. It's just I feel like it will be better.
Right. So earlier you were talking about you had it lined up when the budget was going to be bigger for certain other types of songs, right?
Regionrat, yes.
Okay. So I'm curious, man, because people don't talk about this. What was the price tag for a certain song that you were hoping to get?
I didn't budget that part, but
Okay.
you can't because when you're gonna budget the music, you get a call. All this what do you call I
I can't remember, but I know what you're talking
AMI
about.
or something like
Yes.
I don't know anything about music.
I think that's
you gotta
what it is.
pay the guy who wrote the music,
Mm-hmm.
performed the music, and the publisher, and the amount has to be equal. So you have to kind of negotiate. So when you do that, if you're going to do that, you need somebody who knows how to do it and negotiate that.
Right.
Yeah.
If somebody agrees to do it for $1,000, then you pay $1,000 each.
Mm-hmm.
Except the other one might not accept $1,000.
Well, I'm thinking when I finally write one of these badass movies that we're going to put out and we need 80 songs, they're going to like the story so much and my personality that they'll pay $2 each.
Oh,
But
sure.
Because
here's
they'll
the
want to be a
reality.
part of it.
If
He
you
lives in
have
a
a
dream
song
world.
that's semi-known and you want to use it, you have nothing to lose by calling and say, hey, dude, I have a $500. I'm doing this indie movie.
Yeah.
If they say no, well, it wasn't going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
But if
yeah.
he says yes, then you have something. You have nothing to lose. You can always ask.
Yeah, you
That's
can always
true.
ask. Yeah, I dig the music, man. You put together a really fantastic.
The score,
Indie film.
however, I got to tell you,
Go for it.
Marcus has been a friend for many years, and I can afford, in that kind of movie, I couldn't afford somebody like Marcus and Marcus Trump. He had just finished Logan.
Okay.
The movie with, the X-Men type thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then apparently the director hated all the music, so they made them redo the music. So the music was done like a week before the movie came out. They were so stressed because, the composers had the worst deadlines because the movie's already finished.
We just
and
talked
if you don't
about
have
that
a lot
all
of
the time.
special effects, like you need to get that scored in 12 weeks.
Yeah.
And he was going to take a vacation right there. As soon as he was over, he just jumped into this one and did it for me.
Wow.
Dude, what a soldier. That's cool.
That's super nice.
Dang, man. See,
Good to
filmmaking,
have
guys.
good friends.
Yeah, it is.
Filmmaking's no joke. I mean, he made a great movie, and he has struggled with where the quality of film that he made should be doing well. Like, he shouldn't owe fucking anybody any money.
No.
Okay?
You should
In
be
my
making
opinion, you should not.
money.
Yeah, I've seen way worse movies, way shit movies make tons of money.
Right.
And
it's marketing and the personality. I know I'm a horrible business person. I don't know how to do marketing.
it's
I
tough.
don't know how to do these things. I can't go in the media. And this is before the web.
Yeah.
Still marketing is something that I like. Logos. I always like to design logos. I was a graphic designer for a while, but the actual marketing part is an art, and you need the people that know how to do it.
There is, and it's funny because what you see our stuff on Facebook all the time. I hit everything on every platform as much as possible, but we don't have any money to do anything more than that. So in my mind, I'm like, why not shove it down everybody's throat 3 times a day? That's what I do, and hashtag the fuck out of everything. I'll hash brown this and that. I don't give a shit. And because it's free, I don't know. I don't have another way to do it. If anybody has a better idea, let me know. Because I don't know. What else can you do?
At least one that matches
That's
the
why I
budget.
try Cameo. That's why I try. Then I went to YouTube and I spent like $500 on those 15-second ads that you can't skip.
Oh, yeah.
So I made a 15-second trailer to the movie so people could
Could at least see it and know it exists. Right.
see it. And then I noticed that 90% of the hits were in Venezuela.
What?
I'm like, well, that doesn't do me any good.
That
The film wasn't in Venezuela, but somehow that's where I was getting the clicks. And I realized that YouTube, all these things.
It's rough.
You get all these offers. Oh, spend on marketing.
It's all bull crap.
It's all
See, we have
bullshit.
Well, it is.
We have a lovely nerd behind the scenes that does all of our other reading. I mean, I'm the nerd of the group in this context. However, there's a lovely lady behind us who is my wife, which is a paralegal, who does all the reading of all the fine print and all the crap. And she's like, if you can't see it, then you got to make sure it's all there before you sign anything. So she's the one who's always kind enough to help us out and remind us. And then her being a paralegal, if it gets to the point to where we need it, her bosses and everything else are interested in going ahead and looking at things for us to make sure that before we sign off on anything, we're doing the right thing. So it really is good to network, to get your hands out there. I mean, obviously it's really smart to, marry an intelligent woman, but it's also, but it's also, well, I was smart. She was a sucker. But that's what we do. I mean, we collaborate with everybody, everybody we meet, everybody we interact with on the podcast, on social media and everything else. It's just, we're just growing our fingers out through everyone, which sounds creepy, but what do you expect from me?
Not much more.
No.
But is so that we can all help each other out. I mean,
that's the thing, we need
you're
each other.
struggling with marketing, which is interesting to hear because we've seen all the things that you've done and amazing work that you can do behind the camera. But everybody has the things that they struggle with, and the idea is to actually be able to work together and not let all these Hollywood cocksuckers, and I can say that because they do treat people like as crappy as they do in Swimming with Sharks.
Yes, they do.
Oh, yeah.
Run everything because
But it's just everything. It's just the whole concept is designed for the studios. Everything is designed for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, one of the things about Gravitas that I'm thankful is that the movie is available especially at the beginning, everywhere. It was in all the pay-per-view channels of Comcast and AT&T. Everywhere you could find streaming, other than the movie theater, you could be there.
Right.
And with Netflix, we knew Netflix wasn't buying movies anymore. They were not making their stuff. So I wasn't hoping for Netflix. I mean, you can always hope, but
Right.
we knew it was going to be a tough one without celebrities. But they put it everywhere, so it's very frustrating to see your film available everywhere that people could click, and nobody knows the film exists.
Yeah, it's hard.
So it's like if you were making lamps, and you have your lamps at every store that you can imagine in the world, but nobody knows your lamp exists.
Yeah.
That's the biggest.
And it's sitting in the corner in the dark because nobody turned the bulb on. I mean, it's just sitting there.
It's just sitting there.
And I see people on Facebook talking about movies, and they put them in. They have like 10 million views. I'm like,
how the fuck?
What was a fucking kitty playing the piano? Because that's the only. That's another thing, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody wants that. Everybody wants to have the cute kitty that makes you 10 million views.
Yeah. Yeah.
But a movie, I can't get people to watch it because they
It's
don't
crazy.
know it exists.
It's
And I don't
crazy,
feel
but
like it's
that's
the movie's fault. You know, it's just
No.
nobody knows it exists. So you have to find it. So so that was my thinking and why I wasn't upset at the beginning, because I go, well, as long as the movie's up, my hope is that people will discover it.
yeah.
Right.
So as soon as the movie was out, I went to iTunes and looked for the movie. Guess what? Nowhere to be found.
What?
I'm like, I don't understand. So I type Regionrat. Oh, it is for rent, in sale. Okay, now I'm going to browse. Never find it.
Never find it.
Wow.
There's so many movies on
Never.
there.
And I realize I keep bumping in the same 20 movies over and over. Whatever category, genre, you keep bumping into the same studio movies. So I contact iTunes, and I say, there is a problem. When I put this movie, it appears, but if I just browse and I put comedy or independent or whatever, can never find it. And they say they don't do that. They say they don't have enough space to put all the movies they have available for browsing. Which is bullshit.
Yeah, it is bullshit.
So, did you have a niche audience for this movie prior to releasing it? Did you have one in mind?
Well, the region.
The area itself?
We rented a couple of theaters up there, and we have 2 screens for locals. And that was huge. That was a great success. I mean, I didn't go. I had people over there, and the author hosted, and, people that he knew. We had a couple of screens in a big theater, and that turned out to be pretty good.
Okay.
Why didn't you
the
go?
Festivals went great.
Why didn't you go?
Oh, as usual, money. After going to
okay.
the festival circuit, I went to a festival in Texas, film festival. I don't know if I should say the name because I don't want to be an asshole.
Sure.
But,
You're fine.
Yeah, that's my job.
Victoria, Texas Film Festival. Don't go.
Okay.
And I got there, and I was very excited. I never been in Texas, and I realized why now. Especially Victoria, Texas.
Yeah, bro.
And
Yeah.
my screening starts, and I walked in, and there's 4 people.
What?
And those people are over 70. So within 10 minutes, they were out of the theater going, I'm not going to listen to this talk.
Oh, no.
And I went in and watched the movie
horrible.
by myself in my own time screening in the movie.
Oh, man.
And, you got to pay
That's
for
film
your
festivals.
plane ticket. You got to pay for your hotel. Then I bump into another guys that are the ones that won the festival.
Okay.
And then I found out that the people who were directing the festival went to Sundance and went to all the festivals. And they invite people from the movies that may have success in some festivals and then bring them to their festivals. And then they got free plane, they have free hotel.
Yeah.
They're just
And
trying
I
to
was
promote
like,
their festival.
okay, so that's how it works.
Yeah, and that's the tricky part. A lot of these festivals that way. That's why I had to stink about them in the first place too, because you hear that all the time, where these festivals are literally, there with one big budget movie. Something has named people in it, and the studios use that as their ploy to get all the people to go to this festival, and the little guys, which it should be about, get lost in the dust. So you're lucky if you get a handful of
Everybody wants to
people.
go to a good festival. Everybody wants to go to Sundance or
Sure.
South by Southwest. The problem is, first of all, those festivals, I already know what movies they're going to choose.
Yeah,
Yes.
oh, yeah.
Before.
Way
I don't
before.
care what people say.
Yeah.
No,
By the time
they
you
do.
submit your film to Sundance, they already know what
I already turned them down. They asked us for Outrider. I was like, no, fuck
They
you guys.
did not.
You're not
Shut,
gonna,
shut your mouth.
You know
They
the
never
saga.
asked us for
Eat a
shit.
dick. We're going to see all
you,
film
motherfuckers.
festivals.
Yeah,
I ain't
you know
fucking
films.
around. Why don't you just rent it and watch it on Prime?
But all
If
these
they-
smaller festivals won the fame of Sundance, so they get movies that were at Sundance, and they go, the Sundance winner is going to be at our festival.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of that. And I actually applied to the Seattle Film Festival, the one run by this group here. And you got in that one, right?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we got
I
it
didn't
this
get in
year.
that one, but I was looking at what they have chosen the year before. And again, it was all festivals, films that have done well in other festivals.
And that's what I saw,
that was my
too.
disappointment with the Seattle Film Festival.
Yeah, we got selected and we got a finalist.
That's
but
great.
I don't, you know what I
Maybe
mean?
maybe
These
they
guys talked me
change.
into it. They talked me into even doing it. I wasn't going to plan on doing any festival stuff. I
No,
wasn't.
but it is fun to do it because you feel better.
Sure.
You meet other people in your situation, other filmmakers. So
Yeah.
it's like a
Yeah.
camaraderie thing. You do it, camaraderie thing. You do it.
Yeah,
because
you-
you share
It's about
experiences.
collaborating.
Yeah.
It's about finding people,
Well-
other people, to help you.
True.
But you don't. What you're not going to find in those festivals are any buyers.
Right.
No.
Yeah,
Anybody
no,
who's
that's
gonna
not what it
distribute
is. But you know what it really can be if we could actually go to one day.
Right.
When COVID's not around. You've got a good test screen. If you can get people in there, you can screen your movie and see what works, what didn't work with
Of
people
course.
you don't know. That's valuable. And I
That-
never thought of
that's
that
the
until
best
we
part.
started this one. Yeah.
To watch your film with a full house, that is the best part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It absolutely
Then
is.
you really know, and it's weird because from crowd to crowd, it will be very different. There'll be a moment where like, okay, here comes a laugh, and they'll be like crickets.
You know,
and
yeah.
Yeah.
We had
shit.
2 screeners of ours, and we noticed that too.
Yeah.
Nobody laugh at that shit. It was supposed to be funny.
I
And
know,
then
right?
something you didn't expect causes a big laugh.
Makes a big
Yeah.
laugh. I love
It's
that.
weird.
Yep.
Yeah, it is
yep. We
weird.
went through that. Yep. Like this. I think the second movie had a different vibe. The second screening we did of The Outrider had a different vibe than the
Totally
first.
different, yeah.
Well, I mean, and this might sound silly, but it was also because the second screener was from requests. Because the first screener was a lot of family, a lot of people who were in the movie, a lot of
people
their
we knew.
family,
Right.
But the second screener was more.
Like a real audience.
Public.
Yes. And
Yeah.
that was a great experience. And it was
So
good.
you-
I mean, we
you
had like
cast-
200.
So you're saying your cast and crew screening was the one that's all family and friends, right?
A majority of it,
Yeah.
yes.
But
yes.
that's supposed to be always the best screening because everybody likes the movie. Everybody wants to be happy for
And-
you.
Well, but it was more predictable than the second one. The second one was kind of our idea, or I mean, it was our chance to look at what really the truth of.
yeah,
What people thought.
Yeah.
And we got
Our
more.
cast and crew screening was the worst one. Everybody in the cast and crew will back me up on this. I made a big mistake. Again, I'm a one-man band, so I figure, okay, we need to have something for people. So I thought I'll bring some two-buck chuck,
Okay.
Oh,
right, from Trader Joe's.
oh, we
So
love
I
Tupac
got
Chuck.
a
love
bunch
that
of
shit.
red wine, and I put it there. But you know, I wasn't gonna put my teenage son to pour. So I
Yeah.
filled up with a bunch of glasses, put all the bottles, and drink.
Right.
The problem is, one of my actors invited a friend, and apparently those guys just grabbed the bottles and brought them into the movie theater.
Fuck yeah.
Oh no.
So they got super drunk. They were distracting people a lot. And
had one drunk.
this guy was Hispanic. And then I went to the front, started talking about the movie, Q&A. Some people saying, oh, I really like this. Oh, I really like that. Even people from the crew and the cast asking questions. And then this guy gets up really drunk. And he goes, hey, man, what I want to understand is you, as Hispanic, why didn't you have Hispanics in the fucking movie?
What?
And I go, what? Because you, as a Mexican, I mean, he couldn't even talk. And I'm like, well, aside from the fact that the story's about a Polish kid in the Midwest, what part don't you understand? That I didn't have enough Mexicans in the roles. It's just what it is. This is a very segregated area. I was lucky to get a black guy in there.
No shit. Dude.
Because of that. And eventually the guy was causing so much trouble that I said, do me a favor, just shut the fuck up.
No kidding.
That was a big mistake. I should have done the Steve Jobs approach because I appreciate your question. But I was really ticked off because he was ruining it. So then now the guy is trying to run into the stage, try to beat shit out of me.
Oh my god.
Security.
And my producer, which is a big bear, sweet guy got in front between me and that guy. Otherwise, my ass would have been kicked that night.
Oh my God.
And like 3 people have to grab the guy, rest him outside. I couldn't leave for 2 hours because the guy was waiting for me outside.
You know,
so
I'm a
funny,
bartender, and I'm going to give you a little tip on drunk people. You can tip them over like a cow. You just push them, they go, bam, they hit the floor. You could be as little as
waving
me.
a bottle of wine.
Just waving a bottle of wine.
Courtesy of me. So we realized maybe the
You
wine
just
should
take
be
it,
after the movie.
take it, tip them.
Gotcha.
They're good.
Next time the
Knock
wine is
'em
coming
over.
after the movie's over. I just thought wine will warm up people. Things will be a little funnier.
Yeah, have fun with
I
it.
didn't think about the stupid
Drunk
behavior of some
motherfuckers,
people.
right?
Oh my God. I'm sorry about that.
That's some funny shit.
But you know what? When it happens, at the moment that happened, the writer, the author, and me look at each other like, of course.
Right? Yep.
Right? What
It has to happen. This wouldn't be this movie.
Right.
If something shit like this happened.
That's awesome.
Trust me, we've gone through.
Well, it sounds
so
like
much.
it. It sounds like the life of a filmmaker.
Yeah,
I mean,
it does.
what we went through
Certainly.
the same kind of thing on a lower level too. You know, it's
I
not
just
like
love that you guys have a team. You guys work together. That's always been very hard for me to find.
it helps.
It's hard to find. It's hard to find.
It's impossible. I had one in 2000. I became friends with Ari Sloan. I was working with Barbara Streisand on the film The Mirror Has Two Faces.
Oh, wow.
I worked in post-production. And he was Barbara Streisand's assistant. And we became very, very close friends. And I had a script that I wanted to do, and he was going to produce it. The movie's still, right now, I'm still trying to get that movie made. But anyway, they got contracted AIDS, and he passed away in 2000.
Damn.
And that kind of killed my spirit for about 2 years because
Bet.
the guy was lovely and a nice person, and he's a sweet guy as always.
That's
There's
so
no
bad.
assholes.
It's
like,
not the piece of shit that was fucking drunk at you.
yeah.
Showing you not that guy.
Rush Limbaugh is alive, still fucking alive.
I know.
Oh, I know.
I think he's dying. Hopefully this year.
I'm
think
with
he's
you
got
on that
cancer.
one. He can
I think
go.
he does.
He can literally go.
I know he's got cancer, and I hope it's a painful, bleeding anal cancer. Yeah. The guy
He is a
Can we
piece of crap.
please, with my experience in the last 2 weeks, can we please not talk about the anal stuff? I'd really appreciate
Oh, you
it.
mean like
Okay, no
bleeding
anal.
assholes? You don't want to talk about that, Chuck?
Okay.
Chuck doesn't
No
want to do
assholes talk.
anal.
Yeah, Chuck this.
Well, that's accurate. I unfortunately have been sick. The doctors are trying to figure out what is going on with me, and I get to go. Actually, I got a text message in the middle of our things. I had to go respond to my doctor because I get to do labs after we're done here today to try and
your
get some
asshole?
cultures done.
Yeah, his
Yeah, it's
asshole.
his ass.
Well, it's kind of everything that goes from the stomach down.
He's just always for the last 3 weeks. Instead of us doing any film work production, he's just been gone.
He's been shitting.
just shitting for 3 weeks straight, literally, and it's horrible. It's we got so many good,
Oh,
exciting
sure.
things going on. We got documentary stuff that we're getting ready to get interviews set up with, and we've got this our big film that we're supposed to make this year that he wrote, and he can't stop shitting. and that's all that matters. Like, he doesn't want to talk on the phone anymore. He just wants to go shit.
I know. Can we have a meeting? No.
It's not what I want to do. It's what I have to do.
I mean, that's how bad that
And
is.
the problem sometimes, you just feel like, here's the biggest danger with that is when you think it's a fart. That is the worst
You're
part.
right.
When you
Welcome to my
and
New
you
Year's
don't hear
Eve.
the sound, you just feel like go back home. You gotta take a shower.
That actually, the day before New Year's Eve, and I can't believe I'm going to tell this story anyway, but we talk real on
You're
here.
really
So-
going to talk about this. Of
So
shitting.
the day
So,
before New
here
Year's
we
Eve,
go.
I actually went back to work that day. I had been out of work since before Christmas. I went back to work on that Wednesday, just this last Wednesday, and I was like almost 4 o'clock, and I was in a house going through some stuff, and I had that experience to where it was so bad that I was like, I texted my partner. She was down at one of our other houses doing some paperwork, and I was like, forgive me, but I have to go for the day. I'll chat with you tomorrow. I'll bring a ladder. We can look at the other stuff you were talking about, blah, 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 whatever. And I bolted home so that I could change my fucking underwear.
Sorry, I sharted.
Okay, yeah.
But from that night on, all through from 3:15 a.m. on New Year's Eve till 3:45 New Year's Day, I probably went to the bathroom 100 times.
Okay. So here's the thing.
He has no
Here's the thing.
shame. Clearly,
From here
no
on out, we don't talk about religion and politics or
Talk
him
about
shitting
shitting.
on the show anymore. So we got this box.
Tell
Like
me
Mike
you
Flowers
have one
said.
of those toilet squirt things.
I do.
dude.
No, I do not.
A
bidet
bidet?
where you
do not have
He
a
needs a
bidet.
bidet.
You do not have
You
a
have one of
bidet.
those,
You need
because
one.
If you wipe more than 3 times, you know what's going to happen.
A&D ointment is a godsend.
Dude, now we're talking about ointment. I'm done.
Talking about
I'm
rash.
done, man.
No,
Diaper
but I mean,
rash
it's one of
cream.
those like
A&D
tushy,
is
whatever
the
they
best.
call. You just
Tushies.
squirt it. Believe me, you'll feel great.
Now, here's the
Monkey
tr-
butt.
now,
Get some
here's-
monkey butt powder.
Here's the tricky thing about that. All those special wipes and
I
everything you
love thinking
use that are
about shit.
supposed to be biodegradable, they are not. So if you use those wipes, you need to bag them and throw them away. Do not put them in the toilet or they'll destroy your septic system.
Do you realize we had a great show going?
Until
This
you
was a
start
really
talking about your
serious
shit.
show.
Wait a second.
about-
Since we start talking about my ass, Javier's leaned in.
Yeah, right.
He's all up in the business.
Yeah, it's
I'm
amazing.
talking about Chuck's ass. And this is nothing like the conversation
Something
we
we
had
can-
off air yesterday.
Something we can all identify with, I guess, is shit.
I guess we can.
So speaking of shit, Javier, what did you think of Wonder Woman after you finished it?
I couldn't finish it.
You couldn't finish it, huh?
I couldn't. I mean, the entire time I was watching the movie, I think this was my expression. I mean, all that money, and every time she's flying like fucking Spider-Man all over, it looks like a little cartoon. First of all, that kills your suspension of disbelief when she's just
Floating around?
flying. Like the gravity doesn't mean anything. It's just
Yeah.
going around. The special effects, I thought it was pretty crappy.
Huh.
But also,
okay.
she had one expression the whole movie. It's not her fault. It's
She
just
did? I
what
mean,
was
I didn't
made.
see that. I just like looking at her, so I didn't even know.
Right? Oh no, she's adorable.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's not an ounce of humor in the whole movie, which usually those superhero movies tend to have some, so you can swallow that shit.
You didn't think Captain Kirk didn't make you
Who
laugh?
needs humor when you got a hot chick, though, honestly? That's all you really need.
I mean, yeah, but I mean,
You didn't.
That's what works for
It was a
most people.
disappointing
2
experience for
hours
you.
of that. I mean, I couldn't do it. I swear I watched about half. That's when I talked to this gentleman here to set up my camera,
Yeah.
so today we wouldn't have problems.
I got you.
And
Substance.
and I went back and I'm like,
Needs
no.
more
And I went back and I started watching Eastbound South with Danny McBride.
Okay. All right.
And I go, okay, now I'm having fun.
Cobra Kai.
Yeah, but I watched Wonder Woman too, and I absolutely loved it. I loved
did?
everything. I absolutely loved it. In fact,
But
by the
again, but let's
You
go
was
back
sold
to the
by
fact
the
you
hot
said,
chick.
but she's hot.
well, it was that, but it was
Sold.
surprising to me because I mean, I like Titanic, and to me, it was like a superhero Titanic movie. I mean, that's how I felt. It was a great love story. I thought it was a beautiful point. And when suspension of disbelief has to be in play with the whole. I don't want to ruin the movie or anybody, but there's a
Yeah.
part that
Well,
where
you're
it starts
like me
getting a
in a
little
sense
crazy. You know, it gets crazy after a point. You're like, okay, if everybody started doing this, it would get too crazy. But by the end of that movie, there's something about the villain, the flip, that made the whole fucking thing work for me.
Well, he didn't see that part.
He didn't see the ending.
Yeah, well, Aaron just likes.
There's a human
You're
element.
like
There's a
me,
very
for
human
instance,
element.
I'm watching TV and I see reruns or whatever, and I want to watch Joy.
Huh?
And my kid goes, Dad, that's a fucking movie about a mop. And I go, I know, motherfucker, but Jennifer Lawrence is all over that shit. I'm watching it.
I hear you.
Sometimes Joy's up or anything Jennifer Lawrence, I gotta watch it.
I gotta
It's a
watch
good-
it.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But Jennifer Lawrence is in.
She's great.
Now, go back to the first Wonder Woman, and I thought that movie had more substance. This was like if this was a series on Netflix or something, or, whoever would carry it. But anyway, so since it's DC, but if this was a series on Netflix, then this would be a running thing where you'd only watch it for an hour at a time, it'd be different. But since it is, since they are two big budget movies, I think that the first Wonder Woman actually had those other aspects with the comedy relief because of the team that they had of the other little combat group.
Sure.
But yeah, I can see what he's saying as far as like it missing elements and stuff. And same thing. Like, remember when we had the conversation before about Disney's Dumbo, how disappointed I was because you could see the line work in the special effects. Wonder Woman had the same thing.
I did not see it. I
Yeah,
didn't
and that's
see a
what-
thing.
It so drew me.
If you like, it's fair. A lot of people are
Yep.
gonna like it, and that's fine.
Yeah, I didn't.
You like
I didn't
it,
see it.
obviously, but,
Well, I know why Chuck doesn't like. He doesn't like 80s. If it's 80s, Chuck
Overall,
won't like it. I
overall,
mean, that's-
I'm not into superhero movies.
Oh, thank you. Me neither.
DC, Marvel, all that.
I'm good.
For instance, I love Joker because I love the drama, the origin story, where Joker came from feels so
Joker's
real.
cool.
That's a
For
brilliant
some
movie.
people, that's just fucking depressing.
yeah.
I
The
like
movie,
it.
as depressing as it was a lot of laughs.
Yes.
In there,
Yep.
it's like humor. But movie to me was a masterpiece. The way it was done.
Yeah,
I agree.
Every frame of that picture is wonderful to
I
look
agree.
at.
it is
It's well
actually.
acted. Even the original, one I really like, the Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight,
With,
yeah.
The
yeah.
one with Heath Ledger. I mean, I love
brilliant.
that movie. It's a superhero movie, but it doesn't feel hokey and
Yeah.
campy like this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I get
The
you.
first
Kind
Iron
of
Man
cartoony.
was fun, I thought.
The which one?
The first Iron Man.
Oh, the Fire. Yeah,
Yeah.
Iron Man's great.
The
Yeah.
first one, yeah.
The
But
last one
before
that
it went
came
big
out with,
budget.
like fucking 16 superheroes.
Too big.
You know,
Too much.
It's just too. You know when? Okay, I always explain this way, and my wife and I use this. You know when I love cheesecake.
Okay.
So if I get a slice of cheesecake, it's just incredible. And you get 2, 3, 4 slices, and you're like, that's too much cheesecake.
Yeah, that's way too much.
Then you're
yeah.
like chucking a toilet.
So when I see movies like that, I go, that was too much cheesecake.
Right.
Yeah,
That's my expression.
yeah.
Okay.
Cheesecake.
I got it.
Okay.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
that is.
That makes sense.
That is good.
Well, I think you should watch Cobra Kai and leave it at that then.
I think we should play a game.
Okay,
Leave
we
it at
can
that.
play a game. We're going to just play a game. You don't want to
wanna
talk about
play a
Cobra Kai?
game?
Because I finished Cobra Kai last
I don't
night.
want to talk about Cobra Kai. No, we're
binged
playing
it.
a game.
It's season
Urban
3.
Dictionary.
I finished. It's
You want to play Urban Dictionary?
The Urban Dictionary game.
Urban Dictionary. You wanna
Urban
play a game?
Dictionary game.
Yo, mama, you want to play the Urban Dictionary game?
What do I do?
You just have to. I'm going to say an Urban Dictionary term, and you have to just guess what you think it might mean.
Okay.
Sometimes the
Can you
answers
handle
are as dirty as you think, and sometimes
they're
usually
not.
not.
Sometimes
Hey, dog.
the term is dirtier.
He'll be fine. He's got the name Javier.
Okay,
He's
so
got
let's
this.
see.
Yeah, I
Let's see
fucking
what you
told you,
got.
man.
Let's see what you got. The first one's blowhard.
Blowhard. That's an asshole.
Blowhard.
It's me.
No,
Well,
an
it
asshole
is-
like an
it is
asshole like this guy's problem's asshole. I'm talking about some guy who's an asshole.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Great answer.
Aaron is a
Yeah.
blowhard.
Aaron
Great
is
answer.
indeed a blowhard. I will give you that hint. Aaron's a blowhard.
Am I a blowhard?
You are a blowhard.
Huh.
So what does it mean, Aaron?
A blowhard.
Yeah.
Confident. Overly confident.
Okay.
Blowhard.
All right. Chuck.
Serious answers today, Chuck.
Aaron, I love you, but egotistical.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay.
Okay.
So a blowhard is an opinionated person who talks loud and way too long on the same subject.
Probably.
So yeah, Aaron,
Yeah.
Some
okay.
asshole.
you're straight up blowhard.
Hence the name.
So an asshole. So we're all right.
That's why
in
we
some
call
form
him
or-
asshole
Yeah.
because he's a blowhard.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should just
know
change
what?
it to blow.
Blowhard Carlson.
I'm gonna make a new movie called Blowhard. And I'm starring in that bitch.
All right, I got another one. B-nips.
Say again.
B-nips.
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 Can you spell that?
B space N.
Use it in a sentence, please.
B-nips.
Sit in a sentence, please.
She has B-nips.
Okay.
There's
There
your
you go.
sentence. B-nips.
Javier, please.
Yeah, you're up
Um,
first.
Nip. So obviously, I want to think that somebody got stung by a bee in the nipple.
Not a bad answer.
Oh, that would hurt.
Okay, I'm gonna say their nipples are too far apart.
Okay.
Okay.
Not a bad answer either. I got one.
What do you got?
She's got the bologna slices. Bees. Bee nips. You know when you get the bologna slice nipples? Those big, wide son of bitches? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pregnant woman does.
Yeah. Bee nips. That's what they call them. They just
Okay.
shorten it up because no one likes to hear the word bologna.
Okay.
So the baby can find the nipple. Yeah.
So the baby can find
And
it.
usually they can find it from, like, her knee.
Bologna.
But see, it throws me off because you said B-nips and just
Yeah.
the letter B, not actually B-E-E. Because I was
No,
thinking a
just
woman with
B-nips.
such small boobs that, looks like
Oh.
bee stings, like kind of what Javier was going
like
off of.
Yeah,
But
insect
the
bites.
B-nips themselves.
Yeah. So what could that mean?
I'm trying to think of something that doesn't involve the breast, but I can't because now I just can't keep thinking about
Well, she
breasts.
used it in the sentence, too. She says she has bee
She
nips.
has bee
Yeah,
nips.
she has
She
B-nips.
used it in the sentence.
Straight up associated.
I want to stick with that. Her breasts are so small, she looks like she got stung by a bee.
Okay. All right. Well, Aaron's watched too many pornos because he's right.
Am I right?
B is short for baloney. Baloney nipples.
I got it right!
Baloney. Yeah.
Dude.
Slice of baloney nipples, I guess.
That's why I'm a
See,
blowhard. Do you understand why I'm a blowhard? Because I know what I'm talking about.
I understand a lot of why you're a blowhard,
Confident
yes.
motherfucker.
Having your browser history to Pornhub pays off, doesn't it?
Yep. Yeah.
Dude, that's badass. I got
man.
bologna nipples. I knew
Yeah.
it. I knew
You have
Bologna
it.
nipples.
You have bologna nipples?
No,
I
I
didn't
don't.
get the answer right.
No, I just have a sensitive right one.
And he has a hairy one, too.
That's funny
Or
because
the-
my right one's numb.
That's
From
nice,
surgery.
Chuck. Are we going to go back to your asshole now, too?
Javier, I hope we haven't scared you too much, and I want to thank you for joining us on today's show. But
That's
he
it? No more
he
words?
hasn't left.
No, that's it. That's it. There was two.
Only two.
What, you want more?
Yeah, he wants another one.
You want another one?
Have
I can give
nothing
you
to
another
do.
one.
Okay, he's got one more.
All
All right,
right.
let's do one more word.
Okay.
Urban
I got one.
Dictionary
I got another one.
All right.
Unch fancier. Unch fancier.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Okay. All right. She was an unch fancier.
Sounds
didn't
like she
help.
likes butt sex.
Aaron, you got to guess.
I mean, if you try butt sex, the first thing that's going to happen is like... So. I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, Aaron,
It's
what do you think?
it's like maybe a German woman giving head. Fancier. You know, and she's doing it, and you're just asking her to do it
Okay, Chuck.
slower and fancier.
Stop.
Zucchini.
Zucchini.
Unch fancier.
Unch fancier.
Fancier.
There is no good answer, whatever this is going to be, because it all just sounds naughty.
I'll tell you the answer is a one-word answer. That's your hint.
One word answer.
One-word answer.
Zucchini?
Unch fancier.
Unch. She is an unch fancier.
Unch fancier.
Holy shit.
Snob.
I don't know.
A snob?
Snob.
Prostitute.
Oh, okay.
Prostitute.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's actually a lesbian.
Damn it.
An unch fancier.
Is a lesbian.
What's
Did
a
you-
nude?
I don't know
I'm
what the fuck.
guessing
Apparently
nooch is
it's
a
a
vagina.
vagina.
Some kind of is that some kind of carpet brand?
Well, makes sense.
I
Munching
don't
carpet.
know, but I mean, that's, yeah. I don't
Unch
know.
fancier. That's a lesbian.
Fancier.
I know that's rot launcher.
Oh,
That's different.
Isn't it fun when the answers are more fun than the actual word?
yeah.
They always are.
Yeah.
Too funny, guys. Wow. Well, Urban Dictionary
Urban
gang.
Dictionary game.
Urban Dictionary game.
Yeah, those are good. Very good.
You've been an awesome guest, though.
Yeah, Javier,
And
you're
your
the man.
movie's, your movie's amazing. Your
Thank you
movie's
for
so
watching
good.
it.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely,
good.
buddy.
So good. I would
Hopefully
tell
you'll
anybody.
hear soon about whatever we do with Pale-Face Assassin. Hopefully that'll be a fun one.
I can't wait to see your work.
I can't wait
yeah,
either.
It'll be fun.
Okay. I'm glad you're doing more, man. What's your scheduling on that? What are you going to try to film during this pandemic shit, or are you going to wait?
That is part of the problem. Obviously, the finance disappear. We had a finance person from India, and the moment this happened, everybody panicked. And
Yeah.
at least
Yeah.
this guy said, I don't know what's happened to the economy,
Yeah.
so forget it. It was just a one investor group.
Right.
So we lost that, and we are thinking maybe shooting a couple scenes and then try to raise the money for it.
I was going to say, you can try a campaign out. That's where we're going to go.
Shooting those scenes, then the problem is how you do it. I don't like crowdfunding because I don't understand it.
Okay. Fair enough.
I don't have a network to do something like that. Mm-hmm. You can also do equity crowdfunding in Washington legally. You can raise up to $1 million from friends and be like a public offer.
Yep.
But every investor has to be a Washington resident, and I'm still kind of new in town, and you need to know a lot of people for something like that. So I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we're gonna try to do these two scenes somehow, and I really miss comedy, so I'm gonna put a little YouTube, very humble YouTube, goofy series for comedy.
I
Good
love
for
that.
you.
I love that.
Good, good.
That's
It's gonna be
perfect,
called.
buddy.
So when I let you know, it's called Tonight with Manolo.
With Manolo?
Okay.
Yes.
Manolo?
Yeah.
Manolo.
Yeah.
It's like the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Well, what we're gonna do with Tonight with Manolo is Tonight with Manolo is gonna be a show like the day, like the Jimmy Fallon, The Late Show, or Colbert. But the difference is this show is live, unlike pre-tape like those
Okay.
shows. But what Manolo does before the live show, he needs a full rehearsal because the show is gonna go live, and because the guests are not there yet, or the musical group or something. Basically, the show is the rehearsal for the actual show.
Oh, that's
fucking cool.
That's a really good idea.
All the things you couldn't say on live, which you'll be told a few times, you can't say that on TV. Oh, of course I'm not going to say it on TV. Mm-hmm. But we're going to watch those tapes.
Oh, it's awesome.
That's
I love
fucking
it.
cool.
I love it.
So
That's
we'll see
awesome.
how that turns out. We'll do a couple of shows and see.
Awesome.
Good for you.
Well,
man.
Javier, we're fans of your stuff, so we're
But
going
that's
to be
just for
watching.
fun, just because there's nothing to do.
Right. Yeah.
Well, no, it keeps you busy though. It keeps that creative
Seriously.
juices going. That's why we started the show.
It
You know,
is.
to be
Yeah.
able to
No,
talk
this
with
is
everybody.
great. And you guys have a great setup. So,
Thank you.
and I love that you keep talking about it and you don't let it go. I had a few podcasts, and then next, after a week, 2 weeks, people don't. They think after 2 they're gonna have 1,000 million viewers, and you just gotta keep putting your content out. On
Yeah.
something like this.
Well-
How many episodes? What episode would this be?
Oh, you're number 34?
34.
34.
Yep.
Yeah.
We
Who's the
started.
34th president of the United States?
Oh, shit.
God.
I don't
Come
know.
on, white people.
He wasn't Mexican, I'll tell you
Come on,
that.
white
Come on,
people.
white people.
He wasn't Mexican, man.
Ford-
I don't know.
Ford was
I
36.
Don't
Oh, I
even start.
was
You guys are
gonna
going to
say
get so
Ford.
wrong. You're going to be so wrong.
Kennedy was 35.
You're going to embarrass yourself on the show.
Hey, Siri, who was the 36th president of the United States?
36 or 34th?
34th.
34th.
Oh,
Oh, we need to know that.
36th president of the United States was Lyndon B. Johnson. From
okay.
the
So who was
22nd
before Kennedy? Howard? Eisenhower?
I don't
At
fucking know.
34th. Ask
Was-
the 34th.
Is that Eisenhower?
They're white.
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know.
so.
I have no
Who
idea.
was the 34th president of the United States?
Don't you ask
Thank
me
you.
wrong?
None of you know. Shame on
We
you.
don't
know
know
shit.
shit about shit.
No.
Like Eisenhower GCS.
Eisenhower. Okay, there you go.
Oh.
So you're on the Eisenhower episode.
I knew. I said it was going to be Eisenhower.
Yeah. I know,
Okay,
you're a
yeah,
smart
you
motherfucker.
did. You actually got that right.
Look at that.
See, so that means our next person is going to kill it because they'll be John F. Kennedy's.
There you go.
What are we going to name
We'll be
that
back
one?
for the Trump episode.
No,
Oh,
fuck that shit.
no, we won't be doing the
I don't
Trump
want to do that
episode.
either. I don't even want to be here for that one.
No.
We are,
good.
let's be honest, we're all addicted. Well, at least within my circle, we're all addicted to hating the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I don't know how am I going to get rid of this, because I go to bed thinking about how much I hate him.
Oh, yeah.
And I wake up, the first thing I think is, I hate a motherfucker.
I hear
Aaron,
you.
too.
I want to go away, and I don't know how.
Yeah, he
don't know.
needs to go. He's about, him and Rush Limbaugh,
What-
like the most hated dudes on my planet.
Well, I have a list. I have Sean Hannity.
Yeah, he's another one, that Tucker Carlson
Fabulous.
guy. Those sons of bitches.
Man.
And Mitch McConnell can kiss my ass.
Oh, that
But
guy.
What a
you know
piece.
what,
Oh, yeah, this
though?
is
Javier,
politics
you're
stuff,
on
though.
our good list because you're cool and you have a friend in us now. So you let us know when you got stuff going on, and we'll market that stuff for you.
Absolutely, we'll
Push
get
it
it
out
out there.
Push
We'll
it out
definitely get this
there.
out here for you the
sure.
best we can. Where can people find your? You got a website and all that good stuff?
Yeah, it's Grimster's Pictures is a company, Grimster Pictures, but the website is gmotionpictures.com.
Motion pictures.
All right, we'll put that in the show notes. too.
And I put G Motion Pictures after realizing that people cannot spell Grimster. So that's GRM. Again, what? GRM. I go fucking gmotionpictures.com.
Okay, all right.
gmotionpictures.com.
And the film we're trying to get people to watch, which I think they will really enjoy.
They will
is
enjoy.
Regionrat.
Yeah, please watch Regionrat.
Watch
You know anybody
Regionrat.
from the Midwest?
Yeah,
Yeah.
from the region.
Well, anybody
and
from the
beyond.
Midwest or even from the Seattle groups. From
But you know
anybody
what
in
was
their 40s.
amazing? One thing about the film that was pretty impressive is that I thought my fear was going to be a very localized movie where
Okay.
only people care if you're from there.
Oh, no.
But then after people watch the movie, and even when I was casting, actors will come to me and say, you know what? I grew up in Pittsburgh, man. It was the same attitudes, the same thing. I was born in Hammond. Any blue-collar town, small town in the 90s where there was an internet and not much to do, they
Yeah.
would kind of have the same syndrome of
Yeah.
lack of a good society and support for kids.
Yeah,
To me, it
man.
was a
Same.
drama because I felt a lot for those kids. They
Yeah.
make a lot of wrong decisions, but you don't see any parents around.
Right.
Right,
exactly.
right.
Yeah. And sometimes you didn't even do anything wrong, and you still get blamed for it,
And
Right.
which is a great premise for.
I
your
think you're
stories.
right, though. I
love
think
that.
every place has its region.
Yeah.
Yeah. which
It's
she was
fantastic.
saying. That was
Yep.
amazing.
Yeah, absolutely
Great movie.
fantastic. All right, my man.
Amazing movie.
Well, we appreciate you, everybody. Javier.
All right.
Thank you
He's
so
badass.
much.
See you next time.
All right,
Yes.
brother. You be safe out there. Thank you for being on our show, man.
You're welcome.
All right. Chuck, you want to close us out, bud?
Well, Javier, I'd like to thank you again for joining us today for a cup of coffee and a conversation. This conversation has gone everywhere and anywhere. Sometimes it was uncomfortable. That's why I got up in the middle of it.
Dogs were barking, don't lie.
And sometimes, did you just lose your?
Yeah, I told you it was
we
gonna
just lost
restart.
Aaron's
It's
feed.
okay, it's fine.
But anyway, no, thank you, buddy.
Bye, Aaron.
Thank you for giving us all of your expertise and all your experiences that you've gone through in making Regionrat and your just experiences over the last 20 years. It's nice talking to you and going through everything. I really appreciate you, buddy.
guys.
And remember, everybody out there, think hard because you're thinking anyway.
Thanks again, Javier. We'll see you, buddy.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning
Wait,
in.
remember, everybody, think hard because you're thinking anyway.
Oh, for the love of Christ, both of you guys.
You just cut me off, though. Just cut me off. man.
Yeah, because-
Nobody needs to hear the old intro.
Okay,
or
well, I'm going
outro.
to cut you both off and say thank you for listening to our show. Thank you for tuning into Around the Reel.
That's great stuff.
Yeah.
So why did they even tune in the first place?
I don't know, but they're glad they did.
Yeah. I think it's because we're trying to inspire people
We are.
and have fun with people.
People that are artists.
Creatives.
Yeah. People that are out there trying to make a living with their art.
That's a beautiful thing.
That's what we're doing.
They're crafty.
Yes.
So have them tune in. And how do they get on our show, Chuck?
You can get on our show by going to our website. Please visit us at cccentertainmentgroup.com. Click on the scheduling link.
That'll send you to me.
Yeah.
Sassy Sam was going to get you all lined up on everything
I'll hook you up with a day and a time.
sometime in 2021 or 2022 because it's filling up fast. So if you want to get on this show,
Get on
I
it.
highly suggest
Get on it.
you start clicking your brains out.
Come be our guest on our show. We'd love to hear your story.
We'd love to hear it.
Make sure you come visit us on Amazon Prime and OP Prime.
Oh,
Come
yeah, watch
The
our
Outrider.
movie. Watch our movie. The Outrider.
Yeah, you can watch Marcus
It's good.
Ford kick some fucking ass.
Oh,
This was a perfectly good take until you said
until
that.
you said that.
All right, well, thanks for tuning in to the show. Bye-bye, guys.